During the early to mid-70s, disaster movies were hot shit. From Poseidon Adventures, Earthquake, The Towering Inferno, people in the 1970s couldn't wait to see how 2023 turned out. Now they're living it, in the homes that they own, which is nice for them. I don't get to own one, life's a bitch. Slap bang in the middle of this disaster movie renaissance was one man. Well, there was loads of men, but I'm lazy and want to mostly talk about one man. Irwin Allen, director of the aforementioned film Poseidon Adventure. He's one of the main leaders of the disaster movies. He was also the man that killed them. The Swam, released in 1978, is often cited as one of the films that contributed to the decline of the disaster movie trend. Picture this. It's a movie about killer bees causing chaos, starring Hollywood heavyweights. However, when it finally hits the theatres, it's left audiences a little bit more buzzed off than entertained, and starring so many people that the opening credits last over 2 minutes. From the start, you can kind of get a feeling why it all sort of fell flat. And I mean starring credits, not the random background characters. With a list of well-known faces so long, there are 13 people on the poster, really selling the star power they had to make the space for every star. And the more star power, the more money, right? Wrong, bucko! There's too many people to be on one movie, never mind star in it. And with so many stars, you've got to give them all screen time. They deserve it. So this movie is a cool 2 hours and 35 minutes at a time when movies trended around 90 minutes. And that's if they were lucky. So it's a bit of a hefty task to tackle. And straight out the bat, you can tell why this film is so long. Long sweeping shots set the scene until this man says something.
Red 2 to top kick.
What? Oh yeah, Michael Caine's in this. He hadn't read the script. He signed on simply to smooth with the other actors who'd already been enlisted. And whilst watching this, you get the feeling everybody who got brought on was simply brought on for whoever else was enlisted, like some sort of cinematic pyramid scheme. Actors flipped from chewing up the scenery,
Those killer bees are coming in,
to barely reading their lines.
You had other problems.
To the point its only palatable actors were the bees. The real bees. The special effects bee film has real bees. And when they do use special effects, it looks like shadows on the lens. And whatever this giant bee is.
No bee in this room. No, there isn't.
Oh no, a flower festival. Don't think there'll be any killer bees around. Everything in this film is just happenstance. The whole film. From Michael Caine's character, all the way, although that is referenced, to the fact that there's a flower show, or the fact that the guy that runs the water company was stung to death by bees.
Because he was stupid enough to join your damn outfit, that's why.
The script seemingly has more holes in it than an actual beehive, leaving viewers scratching their heads, including me. I have no idea what's going on. Instead of being on the edge of the seat, you just edged your edge like a weird movie that you watch. As if the film's problems weren't enough, the marketing team went all out. They made it sound like the most epic disaster movie ever made. But when audience finally watched it, they must have felt the disappointment Michael Caine found out he hadn't been eating honey the whole time. He'd been eating bee poo. There's stories off set where Michael Caine would regularly eat the yellow dots the bees had left, because again, real bees, left all over his jacket. He just thought it was honey for some reason. He was eating them, and it was poo, bee poo. And if you are worried about Michael Caine being stung throughout the entire movie, don't be. At the beginning of every day, they would remove the stingers from the bees, which would kill them. I don't know if you know anything about bees, that kills bees. I've mentioned the poster, which lists big names like they were listing off random pages in IMDb. The trailer, on the other hand, showed an action-packed spectacle of unrivaled proportions. A mix of giant bug movie, which had died out by this time, and invasion movie, which was starting to die out. Most of these scenes are nothing more than actors trying to outflex each other, using their theatrical muscles, and showing modern day life as they are describing the insanity of the bees, which is happening just off screen. So word of mouth didn't really help the Swarm, but good old timing didn't help it either. The Swarm faced fierce competition at the box office, trying to fly high amid successful films like Grease and Animal House. And how are you going to compete with this pure sex appeal of John Travolta? Pre-cult, people were more interested in making out at the back of the theatre to having chills and multiplying, opposed to Michael Caine's soothing voice, telling people how deadly killer bees are.
By an enemy far more lethal than any human force.
Like the name doesn't give it away. There are bees, and they are deadly. And weird bee plots of old man trying to smooch equally old lady. Oh. She's just seen a bunch of kids die. I'm not sure she'd want to go out with you to get ice cream now. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what old people do on dates. What I'm trying to say is this film came out a little too late. A little too long, a little too boring for it to do well. And at the end of the day, the Swam may not have single-handedly stopped the disaster movies trend, but it certainly made the audience think twice before buzzing into the theatre for another disaster flick. It taught us that killer bees might be best left to the imagination, or at least to a more skilled filmmakers. According to Google, killer bees are real.